What's going on, everyone? Tommy from Pizarro's Pieces. It's been a really busy weekend. I've been to London Comic Con, I've been to Sandown Toy Fair, and I also went to a couple of boot sales. Let's have a look at what I found. Welcome back, guys. So it has been a massively busy weekend for myself. On Friday I finished work at 11 o'clock and I went straight to the London MCM Comic Con. On Saturday I stalled out at Sandown Park Toy Fair, and yesterday I managed to get to 2 boot sales. I didn't put this video out yesterday because after the boot sales I went to attend a charity football match at the Den, Millwall Football Club in London, which was raising money for the London and Manchester terror attack victims' families. So I was tied up pretty much all of yesterday afternoon and evening. So guys, first off, London Comic Con. I don't really know what to say. I do think from people like myself and probably a lot of people that watch this videos shall I say, it's kind of gone for more and more. It's going into sort of the Japanese anime market. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of London Comic Con. It not only for the fact of how expensive it is, but I just think the sort of stuff that I'm into, that market it's just not there at that particular show. It cost me £20 to get in, and it cost me £20 to park as well. I only drove because when I worked out how much it was going to cost me to get from where I live to Custom House, which is the XL Arena, and come back, it would have basically cost me near enough the same. So it was £20 to park, £19 to get in. So I spent 40 quid before I'd even walk through the door. I did find some nice bits, and I bought a couple of bits and pieces off of some Instagram friends of myself that sort of custom make their own bits and pieces, including this really cool t-shirt that I've got, which is obviously half of Venom and half of Thanos. This is from a guy that I know. I've met at a couple of shows and that, and I've got another t-shirt of him. You probably would have seen me in a video previously with the He-Man, Lino, I think it's Leonardo and Optimus Prime, all sort of in rectangle shape. So this is from Mr. Mystery, who designs his own stuff, so I'll put the link in the box below. Pretty cool t-shirt, £15, wicked price, I love it. And I also got this. So this is from a little business called Westos. So they're called, I think they're called Westos Cartoon Lovers. So it's a couple who custom make bits and pieces. Generally they do sort of like the anime stuff as well, so I see they've made some manga t-shirts like from Akira, but they made this really cool Skeletor, kind of like a cushion I suppose, or a pillar, but it's obviously of Skeletor, the vintage toy, the vintage figure. So they've got their little tag there on it on the bottom, and then they've got this really cool Castle Grayskull tag on it. Again, I'll put the link to their Instagram page below. That's a really nice piece. Will go alongside the He-Man bits in my collection. So guys, apart from that, and apart from the fact that it was really expensive at London Comic Con, I didn't pick too much up. So mentioned in the last couple of videos, Transformers is a little bit of a focus for me at the minute, and I'd already attained the 3 Dinobots that I put in the previous video. Now I had these 2 Dinobots on pre-order with Forbidden Planet, but they weren't due for probably 3 weeks or so, so I cancelled the pre-order. They were costing me, I think it was costing me 44 posted from Forbidden Planet, and I got these from In Demand Toys, and they were 22 each, so it was the same price. The only difference was I could get them there and then. So we've got Sludge and we've got Snarl, the last 2 Dinobots that I needed. I haven't had a chance to open these yet, and these Transformers are going to need their own shelf soon. So let me just put them down there. And then the last thing I got was literally on the way out. There was one wrestling stall there, but it was a lot of the elites were all the modern ones. Nothing from, not what I'm into. But they did have this defining moments, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I am getting to a point with the elites where I only want a few more. I'd like a version of The Rock, and there's a couple more, possibly Legion of Doom if the price is right, maybe Demolition as well, but the prices for them are just crazy at the minute. So I've got this defining Stone Cold Steve Austin figure that comes with 3 versions of the WWE, WWF Championship belt. So he will be getting opened. I paid 30 quid for him, going rate, to be honest with you. They did have a Chris Jericho as well for 20 defining moments. I was going to get him, and then I thought, you know what, I've spent a little bit too much money here already, more than I'd like to, including the £40 just to get through the door and park. So I was happy to just pick him up, and it's one more wrestling figure ticked off the elite list. So guys, let me just put this down there. Moving on, Sandown Park on Saturday. I had a really good show. A lot of people came up to me who said they watched the YouTube channel and they followed the Facebook page. It's always good to interact with these guys. And I had a good day. I had a good day selling, me and my girlfriend, next to all the usual lads, the team, Rob of Robbo Toys, and then other Rob of Tats and Toys, and then Vic of Fistful Collectibles. There was the usual sort of buyers and dealers there. And I did pick up a couple of bits. I didn't really plan to, but this fell in my lap. So this came from Vic of Fistful Collectibles. Unusually, a Venom that I've not got. So this is a 2005, is it? Yeah, 2005 Toy Biz. I think it's they call the Icons, Marvel Icons. He's quite big. He's probably like, what, 15 inches or so. Got quite a bit of weight to him, and he's very detailed and very articulated. Of course, this is Venom, my fave Marvel character, as seen on the t-shirt as well. I also got these two little guys in a trade with a guy I've traded with before. He comes pretty much to most Sandowns. A collector, he's not a dealer. He sometimes stalls out. A guy I know called Prezem, and he bought these to me. And he traded me for a couple of Thundercats weapons and some Turtles bits. Don't really know what these are. I've got one of them. They've got no markings or anything. I think they're just kind of knock-off bootleg miniature kaiju figures, but they're really cool. I really like them. And I've already got one like this in black and gold. So these two will fit nicely in the collection. I also bumped into Craig of Nerd Base. He was stalling out there. I am due to try and get into his shop. He's got a new shop now within the vicinity in Essex, near Wickford, and do another video. But he was stalling that, and he kindly sorted. Well, these two were never in my plans to buy, but I got them at a really good price. He's done these two for 20 quid, so tenner each. We've got the Combiner Wars Shatter Shot and Cyclonus from Transformers, and I mean, where this Transformers thing is going to end for me at this present minute, who knows, but at £10 each I weren't going to pass them. That one in particular looked really cool, so I was happy to grab them two. Let me put these two down here as well. And then lastly but not least, I picked up this from Empire Toys 1138, Aaron. So I was actually looking for this at London Comic Con on Friday and never stumbled across one. There are a couple floating around on eBay, but they're going for sort of about £45–50. So I thought I'd buy my time, and Aaron had this on his store for 35, so I was happy to pay that. So this is the Titans Return Leader class, which is the Soundwave with a Sound Blaster. And I think pretty much now, guys, I'm at a point with the Transformers where I've got the ones I wanted. I've got the Dinobots, I've got Soundwave, I've got Starscream, Optimus, Megatron, and I've obviously now additionally added a couple more, but there isn't really any more out of that toy line that I particularly want, so I'm super happy with that. So yeah, guys, I'm going to put links below. So Aaron's also now on YouTube, Empire Toys 1138. I'll put a link to his channel as well. and to all the Instagram pages. So a big thank you to all the guys for the bits that you traded and sold me, like I need any more toys in my collection. So guys, what I'm going to do is, obviously I've cleared the table now, and we'll swap over to part 2 where I'll show you what I found at the boot sale. Welcome back guys. So, the boot sales. First one I went to was very, very kind to me. My first find of the morning, because I got there pretty early, I got there about 20 to 7, early-ish shall I say, was, well, it was actually this guy. So we've got this huge Edward Scissorhands figure, which I think it's got a switch on and off on it. I've looked online briefly. I think it's got some sort of motion sensor type thing that activates when people walk past it and that. He's got a little bit of damage. I haven't seen the extent of it, but there's something that's snapped here, so I think there was meant to be a little something that come off here. But I spotted it from distance on the guy's tape. Oh, one's just come off again, but that ain't snapped, that just clips out. I spotted this from distance on the guy's table. So I walked over and I said, how much for the Edward Scissorhands? He said £4. And I thought, you know what, I don't know much about this, but it's a big figure. It looks really, really cool. It's really, really detailed. For £4, I'll take it. And then as I looked behind, in a little Tupperware box, were all these Ewoks. And I said, how much for the Ewoks? He said £10. He said, with Edward Scissorhands, £13, so knock £1 off. I was happy to pay that. Now, I don't know too much about vintage Star Wars, but I was willing to take a punt because I see a few weapons. So now I've realised, after doing a bit of research and speaking to one of my friends, that obviously we've got 3 complete ones here, and then we've got 3 here that 2 of them have got hoods, and one of them is just naked. So I've already sold this guy here, which I believe is Logray, is it? I think his name is. I know that's Wicket. I can't remember their names. I think that's the Chief something. But I've already sold this guy for a tenner to one of my pals. So obviously, taking that into account, I'd say that this was obviously a really, really good price, a really good deal. I believe he goes for, one of these goes for sort of around £15, the other one goes for around a tenner. So, you know what guys, to find vintage Star Wars in any kind at a car boot sale, let alone with weapons, is really, really good, really, really cool. And that got me going for the day. I thought, you know what, no matter what happens now, I'm happy. Even if I just come back with the Ewoks and big old Edward Scissorhands here, I would have been happy with just them 2. But this boot sale was quite kind to me, to be honest with you. So I picked up a few more bits. Nothing super great, but before I found something else, which I'll go into in a minute. So I found these books. I paid £2 for the 3. We got like a Ladybird sort of book. Rainbow, A Day at the Seaside. If you guys all remember Rainbow. We've got a Godzilla storybook. So this is obviously from the Godzilla 1998 American film. And then we've got DuckTales, which is a golden book. Pretty cool. So I've got them 3 for a couple of quid. I also picked up some just little sort of figures while we're on the subject of Godzilla. I picked up this 1998 baby Godzilla figure. That was 50p. And then I picked up a couple of 1998, I think these are, yeah, 1998 Burger King Sonic figure. They're 20 years old. This is crazy. 20 years old they are. 2 little Sonic figures, 50p for the 2. Always good. I know Sonic collectors, sorry, would love things like that. Then I just sort of, this was just sort of all odds and sods I picked up here. Got an Iron Man figure, I paid 50p for. Got a couple of little Star Wars. I can't remember what these are called now. Even these are from 2004. So we've got Jawa, is it? I don't think that, is that Boba Fett or Jango Fett? Or who knows with Star Wars. Paid 50p each for them 2. Another little Iron Man Hasbro figure, 50p. Got a Green Goblin from 2011 on his glider. That was 50p. Most of these were 50p, and this one was quite cool as well. This was, in again, the same version of these. I can't remember what they are now, what they call them. We've got Cable. obviously, who's in the new Deadpool film. And then we've got here, oh, let me just stretch down. I've got a Venom from 2011. It's from the same line as that Green Goblin. Let me put him there. And then, I forget this guy's name. General Grievous or something, is it? From Star Wars. I can't, is there a date on it? Hasbro, 2004. Again, he was in like a 50p bin. Just good bits and pieces for my usual sort of dip bins. So I'm just trying to split what I found at the first boot sale to the second boot sale. So this was another item I found. I wouldn't usually go for these sort of things, but I picked up a Donald Duck toy bank the other week. It was shown in my video that I paid £1 for. I sold it on Saturday. I only got a £5 for it, but I thought there is a market for things like this. So this is a Tweety Pie 1997 Applause money bank, and then we've got a Hello Kitty, I think this is 2008, yeah, 2008 money bank. Hello Kitty is something I would never usually pick up, but thinking ahead here, if you guys watch the new series on Netflix, The Toys That Made Us, they've just brought out 4 new episodes, and Hello Kitty is featured in one of those episodes. Hello Kitty, Transformers, Star Trek and Lego, I think it is. So who knows? I paid 50p each. I'm sure these must be worth something to some people. Now, before I go into the last item that I found at this boot sale, I got these two guys, £5 for the pair, and my missus has already claimed them. She wants them for Harry, her boy. We've got a Mario, super big Mario. He's really clean to be honest with you. Like I said, I paid £5 for the pair, and we put him down there. And then we've got Luigi, who needs his thingy just sewing back up there. But again, really clean. I think these guys sell for about 15-20 quid each on internet sites and all that. So I was really pleased with all that stuff at the boot sale. So before I go into the bits that I found at the other boot sale, which weren't a lot to be honest with you, little story. So this guy was on a table, and I walked over to the table. So as soon as these sort of things, I see these sort of things, my eyes light up. You think, oh my god, like 30-year-old toys or 25-30-year-old toys, and you, even though we like to say you don't usually see them at boot sales, you do clearly, because I found some Ewoks today as well. So this guy was there, and I said to the guy how much. He said 20p. So I said no problem. So I get my little change bag out to give him 20p. And I stood there for 30 seconds, and I didn't even clock this, bearing in mind that Shawn Michaels, the rocker figure, was there, and this item was here, and it's not a small item, it was right next to it. It took me a minute before I noticed it. Luckily no one came along, and I can't believe no one picked this up. But this guy had this boxed Boglin, Plunk the Boglin, who's in quite nice shape, because these guys, obviously where they're made of rubber, sticky rubber, they can get a little bit dirty. The box is torn there and the box is torn there, but I know the Boglins are really popular, and this particular one in his box sells for between £30 and £40. And I said to the guy, I could not believe my luck. I was like, oh, how much for the Boglin? And he said £5. So I literally bit his hands off. Not to say this guy will bite my hand off if you put your hands through the cage, but I literally bit his hand off, and I said, yep, I'll take that. I didn't even have to think twice about it, but I couldn't believe that, unless I just got there at the right time, he could have only had it out for a minute or two. Because like I said, even gaming collectors, people who were after retro games and stuff, would probably have picked something like that up. I was really shocked. But you know what, guys, it just shows that there is still stuff out there. Ewoks, Boglins, even this, like Edward Scissorhands, that it just shows that there is still good deals out there, and the last few weeks of the boot sales have shown that. So before I end the video, I did go to another boot sale. My find wasn't as successful. I did pick up a couple of Mario Wii games. So we got Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Brothers Wii. I picked them up both for £1 each. Good price. I'm sure I'll be able to get maybe a £5 or something for them. And then I've managed to pick up these couple of bits. Let me grab them. I've got a 20p, I think he was, missing bits, but just to see He-Man at a boot sale was good. So we got Buzz off there for Masters of the Universe He-Man toy line. I got this Luke again. I picked one up about 2 weeks ago and I sold it to someone who follows my Facebook page, and he works still.
I'm hit, but not bad. I'll see what you can do with it.
Yeah, he still works. I probably paid a little bit more than I'd like to for this one, but you know what? I know that it's popular and it will sell. At Sandown Park on Saturday, I sold all my big Star Wars figures. I had I had Han Solo, Chewie, and Boba Fett, and they all sold on Saturday. So these guys are still popular. So I picked him up. They did have a Darth Vader as well, but I passed on the Darth Vader, and another dealer that I know picked him up. I don't want to be inundated with Star Wars at the minute. I know there's a new movie out and everything, but I never really used to deal with Star Wars up until recently. It seems to have just been finding me left, right and centre. I also picked up this Luchador wrestling mask. I think it's WWE Sin Cara, but there isn't no tag or anything in here, so it could just be like a knockoff one, but I just thought it was pretty cool. That was £1, so that was pretty good. And then last but not least, this was my last find of the day. On the way out, we got this MB Games Incredible Hulk Smash game. So this only is sealed. So this only cost me, this ain't been used or anything, it cost me £2.50. It's just quite a lot of weight to it. It looks like quite a fun game. Get ready for a wild race through the streets of New York City. Make your own vehicles, then roll out the dice to race them along the path. Stop your opponents by drawing cards, then let you smash their vehicles flat. Keep making them, racing them and smashing them until somebody makes it out of the city to win. It sounds like quite a fun game. So I paid £2.50 for that. No, I'm not gonna play it, but I'm sure someone will get some good fun out of that. So yeah guys, that was pretty much it. A really good weekend overall. London Comic Con is for me quite disappointing, and I'm probably not the only one. I do prefer the Showmasters London one, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot more vintage 80s 90s toys, gaming stalls, and less anime. No issue with anime. I just think it shouldn't be called London Comic Con. It should be called London Anime Con, perhaps, if that's what it's going to be. If it's just going to be manga and Pokemon and everything else. But overall, it was a really good weekend. It was great to see everyone at Sandown Park, and obviously I had a really good day at the boot sale. So I haven't gone to no boot sales today. Bank holiday Monday is going to be my rest day. So guys, thanks for watching this. If you ain't subscribed, please consider to do so. Don't forget, I am on all social media. The links are below, and I'm going to put the links for all the guys on the Instagram pages and YouTube channels below. So guys, thanks for watching, and until the next video, I'll see you then.